Arthurix heard about from the Book of Souls that is called the Moochi plan that Artlix wants to herself to gain more power. And in order to attempt to do that, she sent one of her doppelgangers in her army by the name of Nagrom, who is one of the most chaotic, dangerous, extreme, frightening, grotesque, hateful, idiotic, jerkish, klutz, lazy, mediocre, nasty, obnoxious, poor, quiet, rancid, stalkish, terrifying, ugly, violent, weird, xenophobic, yucky, and zany, racer and plant monster that was tasked by Artlix to go find the Moochi plant in order to make Artlix become more powerful. So Artlix told Nagrom to go to planet number 312.5, where the Moochi plant is located. So Nagrom took upon this task and went to planet number 312.5, and when he got there he saw an enormous castle and said that we Artlix didn't say that there was a warrior here already that owned this planet, and Nagrom commanded his tail to switch its eye when the orb that was given to him by Jake Surzalana. When Jake Surzalana was summoned by Artlix to come see her, and Jake Surzalana used her orb and teleported to Artlix, and Artlix ordered Jake Surzalana to give Nagrom Jake Surzalana's orb to be able to contact Artlix in case a problem arose. And the problem did, because there was already a castle on this planet. So there must have been a warrior in the castle that may get in his way. So when he commanded his tail to switch its eye for the orb, and when it did, Nagrom called Artlix, and Nagrom asked if Artlix knew anything about this mysterious warrior that could be in this castle he saw. And Artlix took out the Book of Souls and flipped through the table of contents and looked at the section labeled Plant Monsters. Because during the call, Artlix asked if Nagrom saw anything that would help Artlix find out what to look for, to try and find any information about this mysterious warrior. And Nagrom said that he saw lots of Venus flytrap plants all around the castle, and that made Artlix look into the table of contents and look under the plant monster section. And she looked at a name that looked very similar to Nagrom's name, and saw the name Morgan, which made her wonder if Morgan was Nagrom's good doppelganger version of him. And when she flipped gifted, hell-bent, intelligent, joyful, kindred, loving, majestic, natureful, optimistic, polished, quintessential, radiating, sweet, talented, unbeatable, versatile, worthy, exactorious, youthful, and talents, racer, and play monster that was born from a very prickly pear tree that was planted by Scrooge after she conducted an experiment that would make a seed that would be able to grow into a 7-foot tall prickly pear tree that would contain warrior. Let's go, Joe, named Morgan. And when Morgan was on October 24th, Sculptra asked Tia to find a planet that Morgan could call her own, and Katia said that she can go to planet number 312.5. And when Sculptra heard this, she used her orb on her staff and took Morgan through a portal to planet number 312.5. And when they got on top of the planet, there was nothing on the planet. So Sculptra gave Morgan 20 seeds, and Morgan used them to make a castle, 15 prickly pear trees, a race car, a racetrack, a house surrounded by Venus, flytrap land, monsters, and a green ocean that now surrounded the castle and the pear trees. Drop some magical pears, and Morgan ate one, which made her grow a long tail that had a Venus flytrap mouth head on her tail. And when Sculptra saw this, she knew that Morgan was complete, and told Morgan to enjoy life here for as long as you can. And I hope you will be ready for whatever challenges awaits you. As Sculptra said good luck and went through the portal and went back to her castle. And when Morgan saw Sculptra leave, she went into the castle and saw a beautiful throne chair surrounded by lots of prickly pear trees, and went to go sit on the throne chair and waits for someone to give her a mission. As our twinks finished reading page 115 and told Nagrom that Morgan is your good doppelganger version of you that was castle and broke Morgan's door down as Morgan saw Nagrom charging right at her, and Morgan dodged the attack and commanded her quickly pear trees to grow their branches and tangle Nagrom in a knot and throw him out of the castle. And the trees did just as the trees tangled Nagrom in a knot and threw him out of the castle. And when this happened, he landed on his feet and was bleeding all over because he was stabbed by all the sharp points on the tree branches. And he quickly began to bend the water from the green ocean and splashed himself and healed all the cuts all over him and grew up to 2,000 feet tall and used his size to crush Morgan's castle. Oh, and Morgan felt her castle crumbling as she charged right through the door and escaped her castle. Before it was crushed by Nagrom, as Nagrom saw that she escaped and began to try and crush Morgan as Morgan began to bend the water reign and commanded her tail to choke. Nagrom stood to bring the pain. Now they rise and cast beneath the moon. Titans dance to endless battle soon. Every splash, no midnight power grew. Nagrom falls and Borg is shot to strike the final blow. He shrank down to his normal height at the speed of light, and without a sound beneath the light of the sun shining down on Nagrom's corpse, his more galaxy saw this sight so bright. She shrank down to her 5 feet height. She looked at Nagrom, breathing slow, unconscious, lying down below. Morgan raised her hand to strike the final blow, but Arterix came to stop the blow. Arterix knocked her out with light, sealed her spirit in the night. Did the same with Nagrom's light. Now their fates are tied up tight. Race, race, race to the end. Will they lose or will they win? Race, race, race once again. This is where it all begins. Arterix healed them with a beam, told Nagrom this is not a dream. 2 more strikes and you will scream, lost forever in the stream of the void. Nagrom spun his car so fast, drove it to the line at last. Morgan followed just as fast, ready for the die to cast. Engines roaring in the air, both ready for the death. Who will win? Who will care? This is more than just a game. Race, race, race to the end. Will they lose or will they win? Race, race, race once again. This is where it all begins. As they race, race, race.
Morgan and Nagrom fire up their engines loud. Arterix counts down 3, 2, 1, then they're off. They race down the track where the monsters grow. Venus flytraps and prickly pears below. The finish line shines where the Moochi plant stands tall. Who will reach it first? Who will take the fall? The wheels are spinning fast, the dust flies high. Underneath the bright and burning sky, through the tops and trees they push to be the first to cross the line. We'll wait and see. The track has intense danger at each turn. The engines roar, the tires scream and burn. The Moochi plant waits its shadow long and wide. The racers chase themselves side by side. The finish line shines flies high underneath the bright and burning sky. Through the traps and trees they push to be the first to cross the line. We'll wait and see.
We see that Morgan crossed the finish line first and got to the Moochi plant that stood tall at 10 feet tall. And Morgan touched it and the plant began to shrink down as its energy was going into Morgan and made her feel very powerful as all the energy from the plant was absorbed and the plant disappeared. And Nagrom saw this and got very angry as he charges right at Morgan. And Morgan with a new power instantly stopped said. Eyewitness girl just said good and went back to her castle, using her orb on top